you too much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you. Let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Let me bleed. Let me all of the pain seems to follow like a shadow, dark and cold to the touch. Am I insane not to let go? Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you. Let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Let me bleed.
Right then, guys, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you are. Excuse the slight delay then, just running to my desk. Right, we're going to jump in straight away. Bitcoin as usual. I haven't actually looked at any altcoins today too much, really. I know a few are moving well just by looking at the watch list, but we'll jump in straight away now. We'll do the usual. We'll have a look at OBD, volume, open interest. Give me a shout in the chat if there's anything you've seen yourself, anything we need to look at together. Let's jump in. Right, so here we go. Bitcoin having a little push up just as we enter in that US session volatility. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to see it now. Should be on. Normally just start with that little intro bit. Screen should be on for everyone now. Give me a shout if it's all okay. I was just chatting as I was getting my mic ready. Cheers, Fireblade. Yeah, I was just chatting while I was getting my mic ready. I was enjoying the tunes. Right, yeah, we'll do the usual. Have a look at OBD, open interest and the like. We'll have a look at OBC. I was thinking there's maybe not too much in the OBC when I first looked at it initially this morning, but I've seen you guys, Eddie in the socials, pointing out a couple of levels for you guys. And yeah, quite valid actually. I don't see why we can't actually just go up. We're seeing these USDT levels just come in and clip price here. So any of you guys that were still long from this push down the other night, and you executed well, I know that a few of you guys did on this kind of stiletto pattern, as I call it. Actually, people calling it the Dalai Lama pattern now because of the meme video that's floating around, but we used to call this stiletto pattern. Anyone that executed down here, really, really well done. You're obviously still in this supply zone. My way of thinking when we are up here is make whatever entity, guys and girls, that is up here who are making offers up here, push them to their limit, pretty much, to be honest. Go and fill them. You know, if you were, you know, we've come out of a 2-year bear market, haven't we? If you were looking at this the other way around, like this, just for instance, if price was pushing down, I'd want best bid down here. Okay, I'd want as close to these top levels as I can. So I don't see any reason why we can't just come down and test these people and fill those, all right? And that's kind of the way I need to look at it. Obviously, this is the right way up. Just a little psychological example you should do for yourselves now and again there. If you are pulling the trigger on shorts here straight away, we'll go and have a look at the OBC and see what possible gaps are above, because I think a few have developed in the last 12 hours. All right. But yeah, just initially, let's just go over some basics then from the TRDR console. If you are new and unfamiliar with this console, just grab the link below, jump in. Very, very plug and play system. I don't tend to go into too much detail on the live session here. It's not a tutorial or anything. We're going to have a look at some price action, going to have a look at some altcoins and the like. But yeah, grab a trial from the link below, jump in. Everyone's very friendly on the socials. So yeah, very plug and play system. Jump in. We've got some videos on YouTube, some tutorials going around on the socials as well. Okay. Right, so yes, still in a supply zone. No way of shaking that, to be honest. All-time high or not. I'm of the opinion you're going to just churn these area out and push these guys to their limit. We can see on the Binance books here, we've got a negative 70 ratio, and that's been sustained there for a while. We've had some group spots selling here. That was just at the start of the European session. What do I always say? It's weak volumes. Europeans can't do anything with volume on crypto, to be honest, at the minute. So just, if you're in no position, just leave it alone. Deribit's got some alpha. You know what? I used to absolutely love the Deribit charts, and they're always, they're real smart guys there, aren't they, to be honest, and they're always generally on the right side of the market, whether they are hedging positions against their options contracts or not. So yeah, it's interesting. I will go and have a look at Deribit. We'll do a full thing, and we'll go through. Biggest top levels at the minute covering price, 69k still. So if you were wanting to hedge any positions against your spot, you want to be up here as close as possible. If not, you know, even 70k area. If not, just leave it alone. You've still got quite high funding on the derivatives contracts at the minute, and I'm sure. I mean, look at this price action here from these shorts. I think you can, you know, you're obviously going to take these wicks now and just start to push up a little bit. Hey, I've been looking at your TRDR profiles. What is yours called? So if you just go into here, share with others, share, and just have a look for one of these, basically just screenshot that quickly, or I can share it in the socials. I won't drop a link in the chat, but yeah, just have a look in there. Aggregated OBD is this one. Okay, some videos on my channel as well, going through the basics and what we look for, what all the ratios mean as well, and obviously the guys in the TRDR have got a academy on their main page as well. So yeah, nice push up from Bitcoin here. Bitfinex have got some supply above, but no major edge there. Bitfinex USDT, they've got supply and offers running all the way up to 72 now. So for me, after this big liquidation bounce, running the books dry, I'd be happy to, the higher the better, to be honest. And that sounds obvious. You know, if you're holding a spot position, you obviously want it high as possible. But what my feeling is, and I've said it many times before, in areas like this, as high as we are, all-time high or not, you want to kind of plan for your next moves, really. Liquidity is very high. Open interest had a flush. It's just rising again now. So for me, in these circumstances, it's kind of like planning for your next move. Do you want to hedge a short position if you're not in one already? Okay, where do you want to be? For me, you want to be as close to these levels as possible. And I mean, probably within here somewhere. And that's if these levels hold. Let's have a look what Coinbase is doing. Yeah, okay, so Coinbase have got a small wall there at 69, but then higher up, they're just clipping that 70,000 mark. And interesting to note as well that Binance have had double bans at some point. Coinbase Pro double bans here. So double ratios, double negative selling on the spot side for those guys. Kraken, not much to speak of there. They did a little bit of selling at the all-time high. What is the USDT version doing? Yep, okay, so this is interesting to see. So you've got 3 large exchanges, all with top levels, which are resting limit orders, defending that 70k level. Qcoin generally has a nice chart. They're just clipping price at 69.4. So for me, higher the better. What we can also see just from our general aggregated order book here, we've got no real bid depth. Here. There's no real spot bid here. I'm not going to include TUSD because they do absolutely no volume at the minute. I know that might change in future, but USDT and USD is still the ones from the main exchanges. So no bid volume here whatsoever. This was your main supply zone. We're already kind of taking those wicks. I would just see what this US session does in the next couple of hours. Try not to hit and press too many buttons within the first half hour of this US session. Just let price play out. Maybe you get another BTC TRDR diamond up here. That'd be nice. Let's have a look what perps are actually doing then. Right, okay, so you've got some dynamic perps top levels, again, resting limit orders coming in from one of your biggest exchanges, one of your biggest markets on one of the biggest exchanges there, which is your perps derivative USDT. Yeah, they've got levels going all the way up to that 69-70k again as well. So, you know, as I say, if anyone's got offers up here, make them pay for it. Push price up as high as possible. Let's go and have a look at the OBC, which is our order book changes. Let's have a look at volume and open interest and see what we can get. Let me just go to my single view window then. Yeah, let's start off on Binance Spot. Okay, so again, to the downside, you've got a little bit of disparity building now. When we looked at this on the last live, or I think it was the last video, you were absolutely stacked with order blocks. What's happened now is you've gone and taken a load of them, obviously, because you had a massive 10k candle basically within 4 to 8 hours, was it, I believe, which filled those order blocks, and we've bounced back up. I'm sure there was a little bit of what Sir Alex Ferguson would have called twitchy bum time as price was coming down here filling bids, but those guys are getting rewarded now, as I say, and what you're going to get now is a little bit of disparity in the order books to the downside because bids have filled. So if you do get any more reversal points, it's worth looking at the next big order blocks as you go down, all right? You've got some big gaps to the low side as well, but I don't think you're going to hit these in one full clip unless this selling gets really, really violent. But yeah, these little gaps of no activity in the OBC can just create wick space, all right? So the downside, not going to consider that just yet until we start to reverse over and roll over, okay? Let's have a look at the top side then. I'll just concentrate on Binance Spot for the minute. 12 hour. Okay, so yeah, I mean, immediately what we are now, I am on H&A candles here, 67.4ish. Yeah, so, you know, I would be looking, like Eddie in the TRDR socials pointed out earlier, I would be looking for some of these gaps to fill to the top side. Just hitting another group spot alert there. If you're not familiar with what those are, it gives you a little overlay. Okay, so just hitting a group spot there. So I've got alerts overlay log here. Okay, so I'm displaying all alerts and we're just hitting some group spot selling. What is that? It's basically the 3 exchanges I've got in a Binance, Bitstamp and Coinbase. All right. So it comes from this, and then we'll just go back to the OBC. So group spot, Bitstamp, Coinbase, Binance, all selling. They can be a little bit early, that's all I would say, and it's, you know, to the downside as well when these guys are bidding, they can be a little bit early, but yeah, nice to see that come in and get some action on that. So yeah, basically looking for all those markets to hit the certain conditions, so 1 to 2.5% ratios, and they all hit a 60, sorry, I'm on the shorts there, the longs hit a minus negative 60, all right. Nice to see that comes in. What happens, you'll overlay print, so it's displaying an overlay there, and it comes into your log here. And then also if you've got that on Telegram or Discord, you'll see it feed into there as well. Added Qcoin to my group spot, tested it for a lot more. Yeah, do you know what I do like the Qcoin chart very much so. So you've got Qcoin group spot, you know, yeah, I had altcoins set on Qcoin. I've just paused it actually because I'm just getting hyperactivity as the market's getting over exuberant. Yeah, drop that in the socials for us actually, whichever, and just share it with everyone because that'd be nice to see that. Yeah, and you're already getting a reaction here. Let's go to a 5 minute. So here's your, yeah, I mean, for me, you want to execute as close to this top level if you are inclined to hedge a position, but you know, you are within reason here. I just could see it. All I'm thinking here is you're in the first 5 minutes of the US session. Now, again, the ringing of the bell, no one gives a flying fuck in crypto about the ringing of the bell for the US session, but you're going to get a bigger volume kick with the US guys waking up here. That's all I'm concerned about in the next few hours of the US session. So yeah, group spot, that's interesting. Do we float a bit higher and maybe get some volume bear divs? Let's go and have a look at that. So let's, we can see that. Let's just jump back to the OBC then. Am I on? Let's just check what I'm on. Binance spot. Yeah, so here you go. You've just wicked 67.9, and what you can see is in the OBC, all these, you've just filled a load. You can see it here anyway, floating across. You've just basically filled a load of orders in the OBC, so these have gone negative, and I've got no doubt they're filled. Quite a nice wick there. Wait a minute, yeah, quite a nice, nearly $1,000 wick. I'm short on perps. That was quite a nice wick. Any further upside, yeah, execution as close to this big resting limit order as you can, or even wait for that entity to fill, you know, fill and then reverse from there. And yeah, if you are positioning short for whatever reason, hedge or whatever, just let price stop you out. Don't start adjusting stops or whatever. So yeah, we've just flushed a load of topside offers. Next, 68.2, and then a little bit higher. Yeah, you probably have to go a bit higher. Let's have a look at the 1 day. Yep, again, big order flush there. You still got a bit of a gap between 67.4 and then any higher. Yeah, okay, 68.3 there to the top side. And then yeah, you've got big liquidity gaps higher, and this is the thing now. So what I can imagine happening, and it might not happen immediately, is but you're in untested waters now to the top side. I know that sounds obvious. You'll be in new price discovery, obviously, which we haven't seen for a couple of years. 2 years ago, obviously, we almost got that kind of double top looking. This is almost, people are calling this double top from last time, aren't they? But you're not going to see a major amount of big order block offers above, because it's untested waters, really. So yeah, running up to 69-70k is your main defense at the minute. Let's have a look at volume. Yeah, I did notice volume was rising earlier, so I'm just on a 15-minute chart here. So what I would, you're in really flat price action here. So yes, you've hit a good group spot sell there. So if anyone executed right in there, you know, you've got a really, really nice risk reward there, even if that's just a scalp. Really, really good. My thinking is, just at the minute, you're in flat price action, aren't you? I mean, you're pretty much at the same price we were. at 7 p.m. my time last night. I'd almost kind of want a little bit higher, maybe get a BTC Diamond a little bit higher in the next couple of hours. We'll see if that happens. I might not be lucky enough for that. And then what I'd almost want to see is come back down, because I think this could potentially take a bit of time to then soak up this supply up here. Are these people who are selling up here been holding for 2 years, like I mentioned last time, and they're just shitting themselves and saying, right, I want out the market, you know? I don't care if people are saying it's going high. I just want out the market. I'm at break even, or, you know, I've made a few quid. I just want out. And I get that feeling here because I'm not seeing ultimate froth just yet. So let's make these offers and this supply zone work for their money. Let's fill them. Let's rotate back down. The best scenario, and we might not get it, obviously, we just go by the data and wherever that takes us. Your best scenario would actually be to come down and fill some of this wick space, because we've not got any bid depth from the central exchanges yet. So yes, ETF flow volume is really, really good, but just from a classic data point, we've got no bid depth that we can see here in the TRDR console. All right, my favored scenario: get people frothy up here, fill those orders, come back down, fill some of this wick space down here. Yes, while this volume comes up. All right, so what you want to do is you want to get these guys here, these retail shorts, okay? And that's probably why your funding's come down a little bit in the last 24 hours, you know. I think we were at like 0.09 on Bybit. We're now at 0.05, so it's still pretty heated, pretty hot. But what you can see is you've got these smaller orders, 10k and under orders, just coming down and starting to chase price action a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if we float up, make the offers, fill them, and then rotate down, and then you're just going to liquidate these early shorts. All right, so if you are executing, like I say again, get as close to the top levels as you can. What do we want to see when we come down here? You obviously want a bit more bid depth. We just haven't got that at the minute. And yeah, I'd be looking at some bull divs in volume as always. It sounds very simple, and it is very simple to watch it happen at the time. It's just more difficult to execute your trade on that. All right, but yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know if you're going to come below here, but that'd be my base case scenario, would just be to come and fill this zone while your volume is still rising. If we just go and have a look at some different time frames here, so 30-minute, yeah, looks great. Retail orders coming in, yep, your volume's just come right back up again, hasn't it? So what you want to see is, ideally, again, I won't repeat, we'll move on in a second, but come down, fill some wick space with some bid depth, clear this open interest, as in get this open interest white line lower, maybe lower funding a little bit, and then create, you know, you want this volume, these divs to hold. As I say, you're only going to get a valid bull div if you obviously create a lower alert in the price action. You know, if you come down like that, that's going to be very valid, but I'd kind of expect that from a range. I don't know if we're going to see it here in a strong trending market that's just trying to break all-time highs. But yeah, you want to see that just as price action is kind of like dribbling down, but volume's holding. So that for me. If you do get any down move, just watch for that. All right, let's move on. So we've covered OBC. Let's just have a quick look at the liquidity chart, as I mentioned in the video earlier, because yep, I can share this alert. I've just shared it with a guy in the Discord. Actually, not something to trade from particularly, just something of interest to watch. Okay, so it's just based this liquidity check, and it just notifies me of when we get drops percentage wise in the order book. I can show you the alert in a second if you want. And it's really, really nice to see, because what do we always say? When the order books have been flush, so you see perps come down like this and spot come down absolutely empty, you could almost call this bounce here a liquidation bounce, but it did come from demand as well. I'll show you that as well. There was big demand here. We actually hit about 700 million depth in the order book. At the same time, we're hitting BTC diamonds on the way down. So it certainly wasn't a time to get scared, I don't think. It was a big flush. It was a big 10k candle, you know, massive, to be honest. At the same time, you get an alert saying the order book's flushed and there's demand there. I'll just show you the demand on that part. So here we are. This was your aggregated demand, and you were hitting like 650, 700 million as you came down there. So very, very difficult to execute a trade in there. You know, there's no, let's not, you know, make no qualms about it. Very, very volatile price action. But yeah, for anyone that did execute anywhere around 60k, really, really well done. Big flush in the books. BTC Diamond, depth is there. I don't think you would have seen much edge from volume at that point in time, to be honest, because a lot of volatility. Volume would have been lagging the price action bid. All right, it's the market bid, it's the limit bid when it fills those limits that moves price action. It's the only thing that moves price action. Volume is just slightly lagging once it's filled its bid, depending on the size of that bid. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that's interesting. And you know what you don't want to be doing is, if you're seeing this alert, I will share it with you guys in the socials. I think I dropped it in Telegram the other day actually. Once you see that, it's just a cautionary tale of, might want to look at closing shorts, might want to look at getting long. And it's the same to the top side here. We've got the top side liquidity alert just to say that the order books are filling back up again. So with perps, obviously a lot of contracts changing hands, and spot liquidity is up there as well. So just a lot of orders filling the books. It's not a, you know, it's not like a BTC Diamond that can be a potential reversal point, but just a nice alert. I'll just quickly show you guys what's involved in that, because I don't think I've shown you before, unless anybody did open it up from the socials. I'll just quickly go over this, then we'll look at Vitalik's shitcoin once again, just out of interest, because people seem to still love it. So yeah, very similar setup, couple of markets in there really, only just a couple of the biggest, just to start you off. I don't even think I need both of those in there, because I'm actually looking at an aggregated really just all over. And then basically what you're looking at is, on the long side, you're just looking at a move down of 30% more in perpetuals. And you don't tend to get as big a moves from the spot side of the aggregation. So just a 20%, okay? So that'd be liquidity moving down, the order book's being flushed. Let's have a look to get back in, because, you know, as we know now, it's very easy to push price action back up on lower volume when the order books have been flushed and there's not many contracts floating around. Short side, very similar, but just a move up 30% and 20, all right? So just have a quick search for that. Actually, scroll back in the Telegram. I think I shared it in the, I think I shared it in the Telegram yesterday, I believe. What's Bitcoin doing? 15-minute chart. Yeah, chopping about here. I could still see it go and fill some of this zone up here, to be honest. I do believe. Something to note as well. So we covered the top side, didn't we? Let's just quickly flick through before we look at Vitalik's shitcoin. Downside bid. Just on the top levels. I'm not going to look at the OBC just yet unless we start to rotate down. But this is really good to see. And I like to see these USDT limit orders down within this wick space here. I really do. You know, and even if you're into your fibs, if you're a fibber geek, just pull a fib in this zone, and I bet you're coming in at some. Fucking do it. That's your top one. I bet you're coming in at some levels. Not really. You'd be shy and just short below the 382. I might have that reversed actually, but anyway. But yeah, just note these USDT levels coming up. People are vying for bid a little bit lower. I think it'd be the same on Coinbase as well. Shallower levels, not as big, obviously. Let's have a look at Qcoin, because yeah, I agree, Qcoin is a good book. Yeah, so get your Qcoin alerts as well in. You could even just set a Qcoin double band alert. That'd be good. So being a double band, you want the 1 to 2.5 and the 2.5 to 5 to fill. That'd be really, really nice. Fed Chair Powell testifies. Does he really? That's interesting. What? 4 o'clock today. Okay, interesting. Wonder what he's got to say. I don't think it's going to affect crypto, to be honest, is it? I doubt. Maybe legacy markets. Keep an eye on the S&P, as it's, you know, obviously quite high at the minute. But, you know, it has to be said that general legacy market shizzle hasn't affected crypto for a full year or so, to be honest. We were, we were all walking on eggshells. Beginning of last year, and 2022 into the beginning of 23, everyone was walking on eggshells with rate hikes and Fed meetings and all this shit. It really had an effect on all markets. And then as soon as we ripped down below to 16k, and then it was just all hands on deck, no one gives a fuck, let's send it back up sort of thing. 3 minutes, right? Okay, well I've got Legacy open, so we'll keep an eye on that. Nice to see Dixie pulling down there. Gold's running its highs, S&P running its highs, blockchain stonks just taking a break. Anyway, back to the important stuff. We've still got those offers above. Yeah, okay. I pretty much think I want to check the ETH BTC bid because I haven't actually checked it today. But something to note on ETH, looking very similar. You've got top levels all the way up to that 4k zone there. And again, you've not got much bid. Nice to see ETH got an ETH diamond in the lows there as well. And ETH actually got an ETH diamond sell at the top there. I didn't notice that one actually. But the ETH chart is very, very nice at the minute, as you can see. And this just comes from more activity in the books. And what you'll see is, don't know if we mentioned this on the last live, you're going to see that in the order books now. As more people come in and start trading the market again, the order books are going to get really, really nice and clean, and you're going to get bigger top levels and stuff. Really, really nice. Right, ETH BTC, I don't think there's anything to see really. I think I just looked at the ratios earlier and didn't notice any edge in the market there. Bitfinex have got a little bit of selling. Yeah, no real edge on ETH, to be honest. Is it still going to have its time in the coming months and weeks? Probably with the ETF stuff going on. I think there's some dates being published, hasn't there, for the ETF dates on ETH. Someone shared those in the socials as well. So it's probably going to pick up a little bit more momentum in the coming weeks. But very similar to Bitcoin, it's been up only. It's doing very well. It's not done the same percentages as Bitcoin, but it's doing very, very well. You've got some very easy levels here on ETH, to be honest. If you're not in a trade, don't trade in the middle. What do I mean by that? Where am I going? Don't diddle in the middle is what we always say. Basically, don't diddle in the middle in here. Wait for this high and then look for a position, or wait for this low and wait for a position again to fill some of this wick space. Don't diddle in the middle where you are now, because you're just going to get ripped apart like all these traders have in here as it moves 2% either way, taking everybody's money off the table. Yeah, not much edge from me. I expect volume is doing a very similar thing as well, which is, thing to note is open interest quite high on ETH again there. That's not the best. What's the general liquidity look like on a 1 hour? Spot liquidity on ETH is very juicy. It wouldn't surprise me if ETH gets a little bit of a flush, and will probably flush a little bit more than BTC, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of orders changing hands for ETH spot up here. That is interesting to see. Let me just go to a higher time frame before we look at some of your degenerate altcoins. Because as I say, I've not actually looked at altcoins too much today. Yeah, that's interesting to see on ETH spot. Okay. Interesting also that it didn't get too many liquidations in the chart compared to Bitcoin. If you looked at Bitcoin's licks the other day, it had some massive liquidations. Really, really big liquidations. I think the last time was back there. I don't know if that was just ETF volatility for that liquidation there. Is that because just no one's trading ETH because they can't be asked and it's boring? Maybe. I don't want to pee anyone off if they're really into Ethereum. Anyway, let's have a look at some alts. Because as I say, I've not really looked at too many. I'm just going to refer to my alerts at the minute. Ooh, interesting. Soy LINA is getting some supply above. could still go higher. Let me go to a lower time frame. Interesting. Not a major top level. Not a major top level. It's still, there's no edge on the Sol BTC. I like to zoom in when I'm on this kind of thing, but okay, not bad. Yeah, okay, so Sol is getting sold into on spot, CoinM and USDT. That could be an interesting hedge on your any positions. I do like to hedge against BTC with quite an easy invalidation as well. Obviously, if you had to be watching this at the time, really, I've only just seen this. Obviously, you know, you want to be executing in these candles here. You've had a good 5 minutes to execute there, and you want your stops above the top level. Nice 2% risk there if you're executing. Obviously, as you come down, your execution is a little bit higher, obviously, so not to be recommended. And you've got a nice top level down here. So quite a good one there. Yeah, nice. I've not seen a Sol sell diamond in a while, and I do quite like them, but we'll see. Yeah, just let yourself get invalidated if anyone is in a position to hedge that. Not financial advice, obviously. So yeah, we've had a Sol diamond, we had a BTC group spot, Maker getting sold into as well. Ooh, interesting. Oh, fucking hellfire, look at that. Excuse my language. Is no one a fan of Maker anymore then? I thought there was a load of selling on Maker the other month by some... I can't remember who it was, but some of the bigger players. I don't know if it was a large market maker or something. I mean, obviously they shouldn't be selling on top of retail traders, should they? But I'm not sure anyone know what's going on with Maker. That is interesting. The Maker BTC chart is down. Okay, interesting to see. Could still float up. Your invalidation's a little bit far away on Maker there. Just see what else I've got in my Engine as well. Yeah, I think Engine could chop for a little while. That's a nice one. I think Engine could chop for a little while. I'm sure that Engine will do very, very well. I'm just kind of the frame of mind. It's lagging Sol, Link, AVAX a little bit, you know, and you can see how well these charts play out especially when it comes from spot. Derivatives sell side can be really, really good sometimes. But on the bigger assets, I'm not sure what volume Engine does. I'd have to go and have a look at it on Binance. But on the bigger assets, you don't mess with this kind of stuff. You know, again, I'm on a 5 minute chart here. If you were at the frame of mind of getting in on this again, you've almost got a triple threat wall here. Looks really, really good on Engine. But again, fucking hell, I should have looked at alts earlier, shouldn't I? I'm missing the action now. Missing everything, because yeah, you want to execute in here. Look, you had like 15-20 minutes to execute your trades in here, real close to these top levels. Absolute Gucci trades, Gucci bags. Yeah, you execute in there. Your risk is even right above them top levels there, 2.5%. Could be, if you're going to be kind of a day trade, you might want to hold for a few hours. If it's a bit more scalpy, you could have even been out of that trade with a 3% there. You know, if you're just scalping them in the market there. Nice one. That looks really good. Just another quick look at some more. What else I've got? I've actually paused my KuCoin alt alerts for the minute because I'm just getting too many. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so quite a lot of alts are coming up some supply levels. I quite like the idea of rotating back down and filling some wick space from the other day. I really do. So that'd be really inviting to do that. I like the idea of that on Bitcoin, and I like the idea of it on alts as well. I think that could be really, really good. So Rune hitting some pressure there as well. Alt Diamond at 5:30 AM when I woke up. Was it? Okay. Yeah, you got a little bit. It's not amazing. I've seen better. You want close to this top level, really. One we mentioned on the live, actually, on Tuesday that did really well. We mentioned it quickly on the live was Cyber. Keep an eye on this one. So we mentioned Cyber on the live when it was down here. Whether you're day trading this or you like it for a longer time, because I think the higher time frame, even just the 4 hour, looks pretty steady on Cyber. It's not really taken off yet. But this is really, you know, I've mentioned it before, so I won't go too much detail for the guys that are familiar with this kind of template and overlay from the TRDR console. But this is what you want from a coin that is still low on the daily and the 4 hour. I say low. I haven't got much price action history here, but what I'm saying is, you know, it's not done a Sol or an AVAX or an Engine or, you know, any of those, or it's not done a, do I dare say it? We haven't mentioned it yet. A Dog with Hat, or a Sonic Obama, and absolutely, you know, gone crackers. So, you know, for something where we haven't got much price action, I still like this. It's still got a long way to go, and it's getting bid at these very, very juicy levels. You know, even just zooming out on a 15-minute, it's hardly moving. So yeah, if you executed in here, that's the one. If you're looking for any volatility in the next 12 to 24 hours, these guys who didn't get a fill down here, basically on some pretty good bid depth for a little shit coin. Yeah, you want to be, if you're any volatility down, let's have a look at the percentage down there. 6%, all right? An altcoin can do that in a flash, basically, can't it? So yeah, if you can get an execution down here, it might just drift on and just go. But if it does, so be it. Just leave it alone, because with something like this, the minute that you start to think, oh well, it's not coming down, I'm just going to bid it here. Just fucking leave it alone. Again, excuse my language, because more than likely you'll bid it. And within a couple of hours, it'll be down at these price levels when you could get a really, really good risk reward, all right? Give us a shout in the chat if there's any more alts I've missed or I need to keep an eye on, because as I say, I've not really gone through them too much. I'm just going to have a look at a few percent. I just want to have a look at the watch list here and see what is down today. See if there's any juicy ones. Comp doing any edge on that? Not too, nothing really. What's down a lot? ICP down 5% today. It is down 5%, and that sounds harsh, but in reality, it's been moving. Its 15-minute candles here have been moving 5% in a heartbeat, haven't they? No real edge there. H bar, God, I used to have hit some H bar years ago, 2018, and I held it for a couple of years and then just sold it all. It was a good project back then. I don't know if it's still got people behind it and it's still valid, is it? H-bar. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just trending like crazy, isn't it? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and it's just going. No real edge from spot, but something to note is, again, yeah, you've got some quite nice top levels floating around there, so it could be quite good. Give us a shout if there's any more shit coins. I just want to go and have a look at some of the larger assets as well and see what they're doing, some of the usuals. What is Charlie Boy's coin doing? Let's go and have a look at Adder. Getting sold into. I think this white line, again, I'm not going to zoom out too much on the higher time frame charts today, but I think this is a value area to look out for, and again, it's coming right within that wick space as well. No edge on Adder at the minute, but one to watch lower. You can see there's a few smaller bids here just waiting. AVAX, let's run down the list quickly while you guys are on. AVAX hitting some supply. I think it's lagging Sol and Link slightly, and it's probably, yeah, it'd be good to get another rotation down and move up. Let's go and have a look at, give us a shout if there's any others. What's LDO doing? I do like LDO as an asset. No real edge. Yeah, LDO's order books have gone a little bit shit, to be honest. Your base case for BTC, flush the wick space as you should. Makes a lot of sense. Do you have any alternate, more bullish scenarios for BTC? If it just gets market bid, basically, just quickly before we jump over the altcoins, what you can see is from our central exchanges, the largest central exchanges, obviously I can't cover Bybit here, they don't provide all depth of book. The sneaky fuckers. you've basically got no demand here whatsoever. So what you'll probably tend to find is, as we've seen, volume is curling up and retail have got some short positioning here. You can tell that because of the volume, and obviously funding's come down slightly, only slightly, but you know, a little bit. If you're going to push up here, I think it's going to come from market bid. Really, because even your perps players are not getting involved here. The nearest bid the perps guys want is 5 to 10% away. So a market bid can really, really push this on for sure. But I still think you'll get a rotation down either way. That's why I'm saying about, you know, execute as close as you can to these top levels if you are wanting to hedge your position. Because, yeah, you never know when someone... we don't know what the fuck's going to happen, do we? We just look at the data. So my base case is fill some of these offers a little bit more, come down, fill the wick space. But I don't know if someone's going to come in with some really, really chunky market bid, covering, for instance, this little order here is obviously not much at 65. But who's to say someone don't come in the US session and say, yeah, fuck this, let's just send it up and continue, you know, and just start really, really market bidding it up, punish these sellers, and we just continue. Because higher time frame, I do think we get continuation up. It's just, you know, and you're talking about obviously holding your spot portfolio here, but if we're just talking kind of derivatives trades, what I'm saying is you've hit a group spot. I've got no major edge right in this diddle in the middle area. You know, if you were to go short here, you'd kind of almost want you stop over this kind of group spot zone. But we're early in the US session, volumes are only just kicking in. I'd prefer it a little bit higher. With something like Bitcoin here, I'd rather just sit out and leave it alone and then go and chase something like Sol. Because the bigger assets like Sol and the like, when they're getting sold into, they'll just move on their own merit. So if people are selling into Sol, it's just going to fucking drop, you know? And I like Sol. I like it as an asset, but it will just drop even if Bitcoin just sits here. So that's kind of the way I would position it. I would kind of leave this alone, maybe short something else, while looking at levels lower to pick up a bid. And maybe that doesn't take long. Maybe that only takes a couple of hours, you know. But yeah, I'm not seeing, apart from Cyber obviously looks really, really good over the past 24 hours or so. I've not seen too much, and I've not had too many alerts that have told me to particularly position more risk at the minute where we are, and obviously being conscious of that supply above Bitcoin as well. If it's going to be a day of chop, I'd rather just sit out. At the end of the day, I'd rather just, you know, you're best taking a day off, to be honest, when the price action's a little bit like this. And more often than not, you can get that, you know. After major volatility, sometimes you just get these smaller time frame auctions within a range where, you know, traders will just get chopped to bits, and all you needed to do was just wait for that larger deviation up here or down there. You know, that's all you need to do. Set yourself some alerts down here. You know, just wait down there or wait up here. That's all I'd be doing. So yeah, coming down a little bit. Let's jump into some more alts. Give us a shout if you've seen any. But yeah, just as I'm seeing quite a bit of supply. So yes, just to highlight, ideally I'd like a rotation down to fill some wick space. Do I get that? I don't know, but I'm happy to sit out, drink a cup of tea, have a few biscuits at my desk, and wait. If it floats higher, it's going to look great for your spot positions. But if you're just talking about derivatives trades, just chill. I know it's easy to say when you've got an itchy trigger finger, but you know, just chill. What is ETC doing? No edge on ETC. I wanted to look at FTM actually and see what that's doing, because I do like FTM. Mentioned it the other week when it was doing this sort of thing. Came from good bid here. If you didn't get in there, absolute stonking. Came from good bid there. Chart was looking great on FTM again, but it's coming down. So even if you're looking at spot bags, I'm sure you're going to get a fill a little bit lower. We looked at ICP, didn't we? Let's have a look at what Link is doing. Let's have a look at what LTC Link is doing. LTC pushing up, but there is supply above. Not really too fussed about LTC. It's just a little bit of a barometer, or it can be, on what the it's an old school way of looking at what the other assets are doing. Link is in supply zone still, so no edge on it. Again, you've got this massive wick space here. That'd be nice to go and fill on Link as well. LINA had a big move yesterday. If that didn't give you jitters, I don't know what would. Matic, what's Matic doing? Let me reset that. Matic, supply zone again. So yeah, rotations down would be really, really nice. Meme has got a good chart. Ooh, really wicked down there, didn't it? Yeah, Meme's getting some spot bids. That's one to watch if you think your Doge and your Hats and your Sonic Obamas are going to get continuation. Watch NKN. I like the higher time frame chart on NKN. Really, really nice. OP, not much to say there. Audi, I do like this. Tell me if you don't, but I do like this chart. Let me just go to a 4 hour. I'm not going to do this on a lot of coins at the minute, but I do like this chart. It's obviously not much history to it, but I like this kind of structure that it's not really moved here. Okay, so yeah, value area high of this range, just coming to where you are now. Could obviously drop lower with any flush that we get, but Audi is one to watch. It's really not moved whatsoever. I am just going to leave those white lines on there, actually. Right, let's have a look at a couple more. Pendle's on here now. Popular one in the crypto Twitter sphere, I know it is. A pretty good project as well. Pendle's on. Not too much edge in the order books at the minute from that one. A little bit of a newer asset, might need a bit of maturity in the books to get anything from it. QNT, why was I looking at that? I think it had. How was it back there from the other day? Yeah, not a bad one. I've got most assets that I do look at obviously here. RNDR is going to be interesting over the next, what date are we on today? 7th, isn't it? So as mentioned earlier, RNDR, the NVIDIA conference is coming up starting on the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. So if you do forget St. Patrick's Day, when that hits, just think to yourself, NVIDIA. They've got a couple of devs, I believe, from the RNDR space talking. Now, RNDR is obviously on a daily and 4 hour chart. It's high as fuck. So for me, I would just be aware of some lower levels. If you get a cheeky bid lower, that could be a really nice play for the coming weeks, just to get some trend continuation. Could be a really, really nice one. Yeah, Rune getting some supply above. Interesting to see what's Solana doing. Then we've looked at that. Yeah, they've capped it at this top level here. Look. And this is perps as well. If you see a fat top level on perps, it's normally very valid. And look at where that Sol Diamond came in as well. That's really, really cheeky from the TRDR console, isn't it? Really cheeky. I won't highlight on this too much. This could take time, and this is almost it's kind of what I call a fire and forget trade. This one, if you can execute in here, and I have to stress that you need to be executing and watching the chart. It's almost like in the morning when you wake up, you want a bit of time to yourself to have a bit of admin, which I actually haven't done today, to be honest. And you can look at the charts, and what you want to do is you want to, if you see Sol rising up like this, you want to say, right, okay, where do I want to look at higher, like we've looked at on Bitcoin, and where do I possibly want to take profit if I'm long, or take a percentage profit if I'm long? And then you want to look at the charts lower and say, okay, and if we rotate down here, where do I possibly want to get in, and where is the bid? So this is quite a nice one on Sol, and it is, yeah, as I say, a bit of a fire and forget trade. What I mean by that is you kind of enter here. If this top level holds, just leave it. Even if price action comes back up, just let the price action prove you wrong, because spot is quite solidly defending that zone at 150 as well. All right, so one to keep an eye on is Sol. If it does, if you do get a cheeky wick up here and that top level still holding, could be a nice hedge position there. But yeah, might get some rotation down already. I hadn't looked at Storage in a while, actually. I did like the daily chart on Storage the other week. I was shilling that one a little bit. What's Say doing? Say, a little bit of supply. So no, yeah, a lot. Yeah, okay, so they've got some perps levels lower on here. So Say has got quite a bit of bid lower. When I see it on perps like this, I'm more inclined to say go and make them bid it then. Bring it down, fill those orders and test them. because there's nothing really to speak of on spot until you get down to that 7.7 level. All right. STX is interesting because it's been quite flat for a while. Look at this. So even when this one moves really, really well with Bitcoin, but it's really chilling out at the minute. Let's have a look on the 4 hour. What I mean by that is obviously it's doing very, very well. But it's actually chilling here. It's not very nice this. You've still got higher lows, but it's just starting to form a little bit of a range here. And it's not moved that much with Bitcoin over the past 48 hours, apart from when you got the dump, obviously. But this one does move well with Bitcoin. So I've got it in my alerts, Alt Diamond, Pro Alerts, and Spot Double Bands, because if this one comes down, catches some bid within this wick space, and Bitcoin starts to move up again as well, STX is very likely to start moving as well. Right, so coming towards the end, let's have a look at TIA. What's TIA doing? Yeah, again, pretty rangy, isn't it? I mean, zoom out there on a 4 hour. So yeah, prepare for some bid on that one. If you can get some lower stink bids on that one, that'd be really, really nice as well. VeChain's having a bit of a run, but people are just selling into that now. Let's cover a couple more. What's Uni doing? Because yeah, Uni's doing well. It started to trend now. Uni broke out, and again, I'm not going to cover the high time frame on this because I did it weeks and weeks ago, but Uni was in a massive range and it's just starting to break out now, similar to what Doge has done. So they're all following each other a little bit, aren't they? XRP had quite a nice chart. I think one of the guys pointed out earlier in the socials. Yeah, it did. Pulled those orders now. Remains to be seen. Yeah, I could see it coming down. If you're trading derivatives, I would leave XRP alone, to be honest. It rarely moves. Some of your nice shinier coins move a lot better than XRP. Wild has been a nice chart as well in the order books. Very, very nice. Keep an eye on that one. Anything I've missed? Sushi came from some good bid, didn't it, the other day? Back here, really good bid depth, started to trend up. Obviously, couldn't execute as close to these top levels as possible. Really, really nice. It's just doing these wicks with the market, but you still wouldn't have got invalidated. And apart from that one there, geez, look at that. But then it just got continuation on anyway. Right, back to Bitcoin. Let's have a little look what is going on. Yeah, no edge, really no edge. If you don't get any movement in the next couple of hours, wait until towards the end of the US session, all right? Just wait towards the end of the US session and then you'll probably get a move. What time was that one yesterday? So this was just pre-US session. Then you really didn't get a lot. Yeah, you've really got to pick your assets when you get to this point in the market after a certain amount of volatility, because you can get hours upon hours of just no activity when there's no real edge. I know we've just had a group spot there, but we are real diddle in the middle here, aren't we? You've just wicked some of these highs here, but that's about it. If you're not really scalping those lower time frames, just try and sit on your hands, just go and read a book, do a little bit of learning, sit on your hands. If your spot portfolio is doing well, if you're trading derivatives, don't push too many buttons. Wait for best execution if you can. Right, any questions or anything I've missed that I need to look at? Also, drop us any questions if you've got them regarding the console. Doesn't matter how ridiculous you may think the question is. Give us a shout now or forever hold your peace. We love to lower our IQ and answer ridiculous questions. So just, if you have got any questions, drop them in now. Just want to have a look at what Atom's doing, actually. Yeah, Atom, it's pushing its supply. You are going to see this now with coins pushing certain parameters as they break up and start trending. You're going to get these supply zones now hitting. It doesn't always mean you have to pull the trigger on a short. Just wait for best execution like you've seen on Sol, really. And yeah, just enjoy it if you're holding those spot portfolios, because I still believe we're in for a good year to couple of years with flushes along the way. All right, guys, we'll call it a day there. I hope everyone has a brilliant rest of the day. Don't push too many buttons on the derivatives. Don't up your leverage too much. relax, execute as best as you can with the data that you are seeing. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll be around in the TRDR socials if anyone does need anything. Just give us a shout if you do. If you need me to share any of the templates or anything, just go onto my main page as well. There is the TRDR basics, pretty much YouTube tutorials as such on there, pretty basic tutorials on there. And then drop in the link if you are new to the TRDR console. Grab yourself a free trial, get in the socials, get familiar with your system, and get yourself some decent data, because it is the best data across the board. All right, guys. So we'll LINA. Yeah, I'll have a look at LINA. I was just about to turn off then. Second G. Let's have a look at LINA. I was just about to clip you all off. Let's have a look at LINA. Supply, but there's not. It's in supply here. Double band ratios as well. I've watched LINA quite a while, to be honest, and let's have a look at the high time frame chart before we close off for Serkan, because I don't think it's exploded yet. I might be wrong, but unfortunately there's not much edge here, and I haven't got a BTC pair. There's not much edge in the books here, but all there is to say is there is some spot selling, and you can see from the aggregate here that it's I mean, it's obviously putting in higher lows. Let me just grab a clean chart. Yeah, this one's not really moved yet at all, so I would certainly watch it. Let me go to a daily. I did keep an eye on this a while ago because I know it hasn't moved much. Yeah, look at that. And this is what I mean when I was saying about dailies the other day, you know. So you're just coming up to a little bit of resistance here, you know, just doing a bit of a classic TA. So the spot selling that you are seeing is to be expected. I'll just pull this from there. You can do this on any. Yeah, there you go. You've got your. So these are your highs. So you've got highs at 0.0143. Okay. Those are your lows. I don't think you're probably likely to go and revisit these lows now, because they were a real bid with a triple bottom there back in January of this year. Okay, so you can see here, this is your value area high. I can zoom into this on a 1 hour. You're just pushing up towards that now. So yes, no doubt you're seeing that spot supply. But this chart is great. This is exactly what you want to see on anything that is absolutely lagging. This is exactly what you want to see. And I've got no doubt this thing will start to trend. So even if you come down, have a look for some bid, see if it gives you any edge in the market. You've got a POC there at 0.01, your value area high there, 0.014. Anywhere down here, again, anywhere down in this wick space here, if you just go to a 1 hour. So there you go, there's your value area high up there. You can see it was wicked onto it previously. Anywhere in this wick space would be really, really good. It's not broken out and started trending yet. All right, so yeah, really, really good from that one. I think I'm not sure if LINA is a good project or not. For me, I just really like the chart, and there's, as I say, there's many more out there like it. LINA has unlocks of vested tokens every first month. Does it? Interesting. Yeah, I'm not too sure on the project myself. I just like the chart. And, you know, the chart could be anything. It could be ham hocks. It could be a dog with a hat. It could be orange juice. It could be anything. I just sometimes think that when the chart looks good and the whole market's moving, it's gonna have its time, isn't it? You know, like you saw Uni move the other week, blasted off, like Doge has moved. Of course, those coins might have a little bit more narrative. Tell me if I'm wrong then, LINA. But I'm sure it's gonna do very, very well. All right, guys, we'll close it off there. I'll be around in the socials if you need anything. Have a great day, and we'll speak soon. Cheers.